So, you didn't get the season pass, or Supergiant, or you did, but you just want something different. Welcome in, folks. For those who don't know, my name is Guest, also known as ItsGuestGaming. I wanted to play into the idea of having a different type of move deck and having a little bit of control element, because there are some really fun control cards that aren't seeing enough gameplay. Take a look at Arrow, for example. She was fantastic, then she wasn't fantastic, and then she still is fantastic, just very underutilized. Stegron, a fan favorite. People love to see the good Stegron moves, but there isn't enough love for him because he's a little bit clunky, unless if you're building into it. So I have what I'm gonna call control the move. But as always, if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and let me know what you think of this deck down in the comments below. Let's swing on over there and take a look at controlling the move. So we have a lot of interruption. This is an interference deck that requires very little setup. Drop down your Kingpin or drop down your Craven on curve, and you should be fine. Because the fun thing is, if they see either of those, normally that kind of tracks our opponents over to those lanes in particular, and we can then interfere on the following turns by moving those cards out. For example, dropping down a Kingpin on that lane, very often turn 3, they will play into that Craven lane, so that way there isn't another potential movement card. I'll Juggernaut somebody out of that lane in particular, so I can just move them right back later with a card like Stegron. Now, because of all of the movement in here, take a look. You have your own movement with your Nightcrawler and your Jeff, for example. Spider-Man's doing both sides of the battlefield with movement, and all of the other movement on the other side, because you're going to be able to control your opponents the same way with the Juggernaut, the Polaris, the Spider-Man, the Stegron, the Arrow, the Magneto. There's no reason not to have Miles Morales in this deck as a cheap 1/5 who you can play with Stegron, for example, on turn 5. Really, really smooth on the curve. Magneto, very, very underrated. I don't know why we aren't seeing more play with Magneto nowadays. He is really interfering with all of the Beta Ray build decks, with the Thor decks that were coming on out. We're seeing Supergiant even moving those stats around. Omega Red just got a buff. We're gonna see a lot of 4-drops. Magneto stock is going to go up. Take advantage of these styles of ramping mechanics, even on the same lane with Craven and Kingpin. Put them both in there and have a whole bunch of cards get moved into that lane where you gain 2 and then also remove 2 from your opponent. You don't have to do too much movement then to widen the gap in that lane. There are so many different ways to try this deck. I hope you enjoy the gameplay here. Please like, subscribe, comment, and enjoy. Really, the game is fun, but we also have the reality of remembering that we would like to do okay occasionally. What'd you think of the potential Venom 4/5? Ooh. So I talked about this on the podcast. I have a podcast with D-Money called Beyond Infinite. And if they pulled Venom at 4/5, one, that would be the real nerf that Destroy would need to be a, like, lower quality deck. Really. That would really then do it. 4/5 is intriguing in a very weird way because it only really limits turn 5, in my opinion. It really only limits turn 5 because you're never Venoming on turn 3, unless if you absolutely have to. It never feels good to Venom on turn 3. So I'm not worried about turn 3 as much. Turn 4, you're typically doing a setup play with 2 cards anyway, so you're not really using Venom as often. It's normally like another last minute stack, or you're trying to do a setup play with Sabretooth if you play that line, or it's a Shuri into Nimrod deck. Like, you're not seeing it there as much. Turn 5 is where you feel that effect more than anywhere else. Raylo, origin of your name. Fast forward version of it. So I've been doing this for about 3.5 years. The first game that I played was a game called Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and the club group that we were in, that I ran and created a whole Discord for and all these things, the whole theme was around the character Edna Mode from The Incredibles. And my original streaming name for the first like 6 months of streaming, as well as just being a standard viewer on Twitch, was constantly in recruitment for the club. So my name was Edna Mode and Guest. So everybody knew me as Edna because just like you, Ray, for example, you're gonna read the first part of your username and that's how you communicate with people. So people used to communicate with me as Edna, and I would communicate with them via text in Discord and Twitch chats and all these things in the theme of Edna Mode, which was a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. I was full on into it, and we had as good of a time as one could with the Edna Mode play. But about 6 months in, a little less than that, I knew I didn't want to keep that theme forever. So I came to the notion of what I'm going to do instead is let's push this to having, just because my name was Guest, I went with that shtick that I'm Edna Mode's assistant. So I got people to start calling me Guest, which transformed into ItsGuestGaming. And now everybody just calls me Guest. So, and that's been the name ever since. Do I want to move beta? Hang on. If I do this, this goes 15. Beta goes down 2 before the double up, which feels good. And then Jubilee also moves over 2. This leaves me 9 on 8. This goes up a little bit to defend the Wasp. They have a Hulk in hand, but they're not using it. So this removes the double up from being awesome. All right, we're good. Whew. So there you go. That's the fast forward version of it. I've been Guest for ever since I started streaming, but the name kind of has just switched. But for lack of a better term, I'm a content creator. I don't give myself that time. For those who don't know, I'm married. I have 2 kids. A wife works at a school, so her hours are daytime hours. So my daytime, this is what I do in the mornings. When you're not hanging out with Ordinary Harry and all your friends, I'm here. And I'm making videos and I'm doing streams. But then when my family's home, trying to share a TV with a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old and a year old, my wife, we learn when to care. It's the best way to word it. I've learned when to care. Oh, I just back down on a lot of them. Random card. Okay. We can try to keep hub free.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Okay. We're back to another Patriot deck because I said something about it. What's up, Strobo? Hello, how you doing, man? Good to have you back. Was it a hub Patriot? No, it's got a border. It's got a blue border. So definitely not. And now following the Mystique, I think there's your play. No, I know, exactly, right? It's Conquest. Nope, it's just annoying. Ultron is feeling pretty good. Like, I would not be surprised if they dropped Blue Marvel right here. So we have basically a lane sacrifice. I'm just mainly debating if it's worth it for me to brood. Don't you hello me, Juan. I am winning. Here, I'm gonna leave one space open here. Only get one broodling on purpose. Blue Marvel. Valk. I'm cool with that. Patriot Zoo. I can live with Patriot Zoo, I think. Because now if I go Bibbidi. No. Has to be Bippity. Oh man, that's tempting. Should I just go with the Shang? Shang, Tai, 12. Because then my 12 on 8 versus 3 on if they put it there. That's a tie, that's a tie. I lose to Ultron. This makes me lose to Ultron. I think I do that. If I can pull these over.
Doom rules all.
There we go. 8, 19, drags the 8. There we go.
Victory.
If it was Ultron, I'm sitting there looking at it like he's left himself vulnerable with the demon. So if he's gonna leave the demon open and free, right? How are we interfering with this entire block? That's the only thing I was looking at, right? So I'm like, there's no way, because if they played the Ultron here, this would have left at 12 power when all was said. No, sorry. Wouldn't have been 12 because it had both this and this. So they would have been 20 power altogether. So I'm sitting here going, this is a tie and this is a wash. And no matter what, my tiebreaker was ruined. But I mean, he's just probably one of the best slept on cards in the game. But they had to have felt that Sentry was exposed, knowing that this was a move deck. Put you here. This one's tough. Are they going Kamar? Are they going Asgard? They haven't put anything down. I feel like they need cards to do whatever they're gonna do. I'm gonna go here. Damn it. What are you? What are you? Rock slide. Fuck. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you, EXO.
Oh, the tragedy.
This is a 50-50 about being awesome or awful. I'll take a chance. Go to awesome. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. I kind of like bringing these back. Bring both of you in the mid. I mean, this could be worse, right? They could Korg. Or if the Korg goes off. Let's do that. Put the power in, put the 9s down. Shang-Chi says, hey, remember me? And I still take the other 2 lanes. Doesn't it feel good to take down a leech? Doesn't it feel good? And just think, we're about to get a card that'll just like ruin it. Yeah. That'd be really fun, actually. Like, now it's got me thinking, theory crafting wise, like how you build a destroy deck around bath salts with card draws, and like, that'd be fun. Flora Man sounds like a weird Thor. I mean, well, depending on the mullet. Move over. Hooray! That helps. I feel like this is a Hella deck. For some reason. Oh no, it's this fuck. Alright. First off, let's get Misty out of there. Make it look precarious. Welcome back, Life Sparkle Magic. Oh, I forgot they had Prio. That was stupid. All right, fine. Then I'll do Polaris. Ooh, wait a minute. Let's do... Yeah, let's go. Let's play Ziggy Zaggy Ziggy Zag.
The neighborhood Spider-Man here.
All right, well, now that just broke even. It didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do, but... All right, that makes Kiln mine again. Potentially. Because now we do this, this. I think you just leave it alone. Nah. 25 feels good.
Snap. Opponent snapped.
Uh-oh, why are they snapping back? Hello, so happy. They didn't expect the Jeff. Okay.
Victory.
That feels good to get an 8er. I think that's the first 8er of the day. Jesus.